All right, let's just jump right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking something genuinely fascinating, what we call the Forgotten Wealth Playbook. We're looking back at how everyday Americans in the 40s, 50s, and 60s built absolutely incredible generational wealth. And they did it using just back-to-basics common sense. These are brilliant, highly effective financial tricks that, honestly, our modern conveniences have almost completely made us forget.
So, we're going to start with a bit of a mystery. Picture a flannel-wearing Vermont janitor named Ronald Reed. Guy drives a used Toyota, lives a super humble life, nobody thinks twice about it. But when he passed away in 2014, his estate was worth a staggering $8 million. Right? $8 million. And no, he didn't win the lottery, he wasn't some secret tech founder. He quietly built this fortune using literally one brilliant financial trick from 1932. We'll get into exactly what that trick was a bit later, but it's just one piece of a much larger, frankly, amazing puzzle.
To make sense of all this, we've broken this down into three main pillars: keeping your cash, growing your income, and long-term accumulation. Then, we'll wrap up with the ultimate financial goal that tied everything together.
Okay, starting with Section 1, the Forgotten Wealth Playbook and the Foundation of Financial Discipline.
You know what's really wild about our grandparents' generation? They experience financial discipline as a very tactile, physical thing. Take the classic envelope budget. Way before credit cards completely erased the friction of spending, folks ran their entire financial lives on literal paper envelopes. Back in 1955, average household income was around $4,400 a year. But get this, they still saved nearly 8% of it. The paycheck came home in cash, got divided up into envelopes for rent, groceries, savings. And when that grocery envelope was empty, that was it. You ate what was left in the pantry. You could actually feel the envelope getting thinner. Compare that to today, where you just tap a piece of plastic. The whole modern system is practically designed to remove that physical sensation, making it just way too easy to slide into debt.
Moving right along to Pillar 1, keep your cash, the art of defending your money.
The core philosophy here was so simple, yet so incredibly powerful. Just don't let the cash leave the house in the first place, right? Instead of outsourcing every single problem to a professional, families leaned heavily on self-reliance. They bought physical tools, preserved their own seasonal foods, and bartered. If your fence broke, you didn't immediately pull out your checkbook. You traded your skills. Maybe you swapped some tutoring or fresh eggs with the local handyman to get it fixed. Keep the dollar where it is. That was the goal.
And the math behind this mindset is absolutely brilliant. I mean, look at these returns. You drop $12.95 on a Sears pipe wrench in 1948, and you're saving $200 a year in plumber fees. A simple raised garden bed today costs maybe $200, but it can yield $600 in organic veggies. Or, buying a quarter cow straight from the rancher for $5 to $7 a pound, you're getting premium cuts that would run you $15 a pound at the grocery store. The dirt hasn't changed, the math hasn't changed. We just kind of stopped getting our hands dirty.
We also really need to talk about the modern illusion of convenience. Back in the day, millions of families swore by Christmas clubs. You put a little bit of money into an account every week, and the bank locked it up tight until December 1st. You literally couldn't touch it. It was the ultimate hack to stop impulse buying. But banks quietly killed them off. Why? Well, because they figured out they could make way more money pushing credit cards at 18% interest. They let you buy Christmas on borrowed money instead. That whole shift? Yeah, that benefited the bank, definitely not you.
Same story with layaway. Layaway was an absolute powerhouse for building wealth because it forced you to be patient. You pick the item, the store holds it in the back, and you just pay a few bucks every week. You only got to take it home when the balance hit zero. Absolutely zero debt. Plus, it gave you a built-in cooling off period. If you realized you didn't actually want the thing, you just canceled and got your money back. Retailers ditched this the second they realized that credit cards could milk us for years of interest payments.
Okay, on to Pillar 2, grow your income. Let's talk about making that money work harder.
Now, making your money work harder is crucial, and they were doing this long before the internet was a thing. We all talk about the modern gig economy like it's some revolutionary invention. Guys, your grandmother was already doing this. In the 50s, almost 10% of households took in boarders. You rent out a spare bedroom for $8 to $15 a week and boom, that often covered your entire mortgage. Today, folks use Airbnb to make around 14 grand a year doing the exact same thing. Back then, they were running little mail order hustles from the kitchen table using magazine ads. They were the original gig economy, they just didn't have an app on their phone.
And when it actually came time to buy something, cash was king. Period.
If you walked into a furniture store and slapped down a physical stack of bills, you could instantly negotiate a 12 to 15% discount. Sellers wanted the sure thing today rather than an installment plan that might never get fully paid off. Having cash in hand gave everyday people a massive amount of leverage. It totally beat the credit trap we see so often today.
This obsession with maximizing assets led to what real estate folks in the 40s called the house hack. It's brilliant. A young family would grab an FHA loan, buy a duplex, live in one side, and rent out the other. That rent check, it covered most or even all of the mortgage. They were essentially living for free while building massive equity, perfectly setting themselves up for a retirement backed by passive income.
They just had a knack for squeezing value out of everything. Find a broken radio for 50 cents, pop in a 5-cent replacement tube, flip it at the flea market for $8. They understood that broken really just meant discounted. They also taught their kids to hustle early on. Paper routes, lemonade stands, these weren't just cute. They taught kids that money takes real effort to earn. And maybe most importantly, they intentionally lived below their means. If you made $5,000, you live like you made $4,000, and you use that extra $1,000 as the engine to build your wealth. Which brings us to pillar 3, long-term accumulation. This is how you build true generational wealth.
So how does all this build up? This is where those daily frugal choices snowball. Take cars, for example. A really strategic buyer completely ignored all those emotional, flashy car ads and just bought used every single time. A brand new car in 1957 cost almost $2,800, and it lost a quarter of its value the second the tires hit the street. A solid used car, just $1,200. They knew that taking that $1,500 they saved and sinking it into their house would compound into massive wealth over their lifetime.
All right, let's circle back to our $8 million Vermont janitor from the start of the explainer. His big secret? He used a dividend reinvestment plan, a DRIP. Basically, companies let small investors bypass the stockbroker entirely and buy shares directly. You'd earn your quarterly dividends, and the company would automatically reinvest that money into buying you more shares, zero fees. And this cycle just kept spinning and accelerating, completely on autopilot. That DRIP strategy right there is how empires are built quietly. If you took just $500 back in 1960 and put it into a solid company like Procter & Gamble and just let those dividends auto-reinvest, that would be worth over $600,000 today. No picking hot stocks, no trying to time the market, just mind-blowing patience and consistency for 60 years.
Working-class folks were also masters of accumulating hidden assets. They'd grab these little $3 a month whole life insurance policies for their newborn babies. Fast forward to when that kid is an adult, they could tap into that policy for a fixed 5% loan to buy a house or start a business. They essentially became their own private bank. They were also all over county tax auctions. They'd scoop up delinquent properties worth thousands for literally just a few $100, simply because they knew the auction schedule and had the cash ready to go.
And finally, Section 5, the ultimate financial goal, true financial freedom. So what was the actual end game for all this intense frugality? Why put yourself through the side hustles and the old clunker cars? Well, in 1960, the dream wasn't a mega mansion or a luxury car. The ultimate goal was to pay off your mortgage in 15 to 20 years. They threw lump sums at the principal, they skipped the fancy vacations, and they made sure that decades of interest profit never made it into the bank's hands. It's wildly different from today's standard 30-year trap where banks just feast on you over the long haul. Every single cash envelope you stuffed, every little side hustle you ran, every busted radio you fixed, it was all ruthlessly designed to pay off the house faster. The day a family could throw their mortgage papers into the fireplace and watch them burn, that was the day real financial freedom started. Because once you own your home free and clear, all that money that used to go straight to the bank, now it flows directly into your own future. So having walked through this blueprint of how ordinary people use just relentless common sense to build incredible wealth, I've got a challenge for you. The math behind all this hasn't changed one bit, but our addiction to convenience definitely has. Are we basically trading our future financial freedom just for the illusion of modern ease? I want you to pick just one of these historical tricks this week. Try it out, and let's see if those old ways don't start building you a brand new fortune.